Zachary Cook.
And I'm Lane Fox.
And you're watching MTG Training Grounds. Today we're going to be playing Legacy. I'm on Esper Mentor, and Lane's going to be playing Tezzerator.
Yep.
So these are two decks that aren't quite, I don't want to say they're not tier 1, but they're probably not. They're more like tier 1.5,
yeah.
but they're definitely like less played decks. So they're not the thing you run into every time you go to a big open or something like that. But they are, I would say, they're still legitimate decks, and they have some very like unique game plans or unique strategies that's sort of specific to Legacy. So Lane, start off. Tell them how your deck works and like what makes it unique within the Legacy metagame.
Yeah, I love this deck. It plays very similar to Mud in the way that you're going to be playing a lot of artifacts, but you have a lot of ways to win that aren't artifact dependent. You can win off Tezzerator. I mean, you can lock down the board with things like Ensnaring Bridge, and that's going to be probably something I'm going to try to play against you a lot. And you can win off Tezzerator, you can win off Jace. Then you also have the combo of the Thopter Foundry combo with the Sword of the Meek.
Yeah.
And so it's a real interesting combo. So if we ever wind up getting a Sword of the Meek in play or in the graveyard with the Thopter Foundry, we can just start spitting out a whole lot of 1/1 Thopter tokens. And we're not worried about our own Ensnaring Bridge because we'll just feed it to the Thopter Foundry and swing in.
Yeah, and you can always just wait to draw one card because they're all X1s.
Yes.
So.
And the Thopter Foundry also helps buffer your life total by giving you 1 life every time you sacrifice.
Yeah, that combo, ever since Old Extended, has been really good. The Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek has been really good against any deck trying to be aggressive because it just provides you with a huge life buffer and a ton of chump blockers that basically, once you have the combo assembled, every turn is spent dumping all of your mana into it. So it's a really vicious combo against the aggro decks. And then the other side of it is having Chalice of the Void, like you mentioned, is good against a lot of Legacy decks, and it's also the other half of the deck that's good against combo, typically. Like most combo decks in Legacy are relying on 1 or 0 mana spells, and Chalice shuts them off as early as turn 1 in your deck.
Yes. And the Chalice is great because you can play it with, like you said, on the first turn. Unlike Merfolk that we saw earlier, you're going to have to play it out on turn 2. This one, you can play it on turn 1, ideally off of an Ancient Tomb, but you can play it off of City of Traders as well.
Right, still get a lot of value.
Yeah, the City of Traders isn't ideal on turn 1 because, of course, you're going to lose it the next turn. But and then you can do some really aggressive, like, unfair things with this deck.
Sure.
You can play out the Ancient Tomb and then play out either a Talisman of Dominance or a Dimir Signet. And then the next turn, you can play a 4-turn Planeswalker being Jace or Tezzerator just on turn 2. And that's a lot for people to deal with.
That's a lot of pressure that most decks aren't normally equipped to deal with.
Yeah.
So my deck, Esper Mentor, is trying to do what the Mentor decks in Vintage do. It's attempting to use 1 and 0 mana spells like Gitaxian Probe to try and basically abuse the monk token creation and the prowess triggered ability off of the Monastery Mentor. And the deck is full of things like Cabal Therapy and Thoughtseize to act as permission. Excuse me. Cantrips like Brainstorm, Gitaxian Probe, and Ponder to set it up, and then some utility cards like Deathrite Shaman to help power out Mentor early, and Force of Will as a disruptive card. I have a couple spicy one-ofs like a Singleton Liliana the Veil, Painful Truths, and the Charm. Esper Charm. Esper Mentor, right. So the key for me, again, especially against a deck like Lane's, is going to be to find an early Thoughtseize or Cabal Therapy to stop the really aggressive draws where he has like a turn 2 Planeswalker or setting up his combo of Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek, and then using my permission to secure a Mentor and force through a lot of my cantrips to finish the game off.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to try and avoid the Ensnaring Bridge because obviously that's a card that shuts down my whole game plan, and also keep the Planeswalkers in check either through the tokens being able to overwhelm them, or by or by never letting them resolve with Force of Wills.
And for the most part, I have a problem. I mean, we played this deck before. We had audio problems whenever we tried to play Arena of the Week. I was playing a different one, and Jace Vryn's Prodigy was just an absolute card.
Right, so that's actually...
Yeah, that butchered my old iteration of Tezzerator.
That's actually worth mentioning here. Jace Vryn's Prodigy has sort of seen fringe play in Legacy. I know it's a standard and modern all-star at this point, but Legacy, it has yet to really break into the format and prove its place. And I'm trying out 3 of them in this deck because I think it combined with Gitaxian Probe and Digging for Mentor could actually be a really good combination. I actually have a few flashback spells too in Lingering Souls and Cabal Therapy that pair up really well with a looting effect like Jace's. So I think this ought to be a good matchup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, so you got two decks that aren't at the peak of Legacy's metagame, but we'll see how well they do against one another. Stick around.
Alright, we're here for game 1. I kept my 7 cards. Wow, that's amazing if you've been watching some of the other videos. It's a pretty strong hand. We don't have, like, some of our really strong turn ones, but that'll be fun. And we're just going to play, well, you can kind of see what we have in hand. This seems completely keepable.
Yeah, my hand's fine. I'll keep it. Let's go.
Alright. So we're going to lead on an Ancient Tomb. We're going to go down to 18. And we're going to play out a Dimir Signet.
That's good.
And pass.
Oh, that was a good draw. We can afford to... Well, we don't have to play around anything just yet, so I'll just lead out on a Flooded Strand and pass it back.
Sure. So, I'll go ahead and draw. So... what our play is here. We're going to play out a Talisman of Dominance. So we're at 16. Going to, for colorless, tap our Dimir Signet. We're going to play a Belphostrix.
That's good.
We're going to draw. So let's go ahead and play out a Seat of Cyanide, or whatever the crap it's called. And pass turn.
How many cards do you have?
I have 4.
Okay. Draw for the turn. Would have liked to have seen that last turn. I'm gonna fetch. His deck plays Wastelands, so play around it for now at least. Go for a basic island. If I didn't know what I was playing against when we sat down at the table, he's 100% on Tezzerator at this point. There's no deck in Legacy that plays Talisman of Dominance other than that. And play land for turn. Vice President.
Yep.
Pass turn. So... Oh, I should be at 19. Yep.
Alright. Let's go ahead and... we have been drawing too many lands. I know that much. Is there such a thing though, right? We're going to go ahead and come across.
Yep, down to 18.
I'm trying to think what card we're looking for here that might... We don't want to be here yet, but he is tapped out. Let's go ahead and tap for blue. Tap for blue, we're going to go down to 15.
Sure.
And tap we're going to play Transmute Artifact.
So that's when it resolves. So if he gets the sword, that's bad. How many cards do you have?
I have 4.
Force of Will, tossing Brainstorm. I'm at 17.
Sure.
Okay.
And because we're drawing bad, of course, so we're gonna go ahead and pass turn.
Okay. Draw a card. It's not exactly the draw I wanted. Activate Chase.
Yep.
That, on the other hand, is the card I wanted. So we can play both of these, leave this up, discard this to get extra values. Yeah, so I'm going to discard Lingering Souls.
Yep.
Play Underground Sea. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's not. First thing, let's play Ponder.
Yes.
So we'll look at 3.
I didn't even play a land last turn. I'm so bad.
Well, normally I wouldn't want to keep this, but that sequence is great given what he's got a pretty limited.
I'm so bad at this game.
Good.
I think I was too much in the tank.
So we'll draw the Gitaxian Probe. I'll play Gitaxian Probe, fall to 15.
Yeah.
It's got land, 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 land.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is a significantly worse sequence when he doesn't have any cards. Well, I guess it could be worse. Play a land, play a Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
And send it back.
Sure. Actually, even skipping the land drop, maybe I didn't even play because it doesn't matter. All right.
Dang.
Yeah. Hopefully. Let's go ahead and play a polluted delta and crack.
14.
Yep, 14.
Huh. So, normally a line of Gitaxian Probe into this would be really good. When your opponent's hand is all lands, that's not as true. Good.
So,
But he drew a Tezzerator.
Jace.
Jace, even worse.
All right.
So his draw step was real good.
I think we're going to brainstorm because we got to fix this hand.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and we need to keep that. Let's go ahead and put these guys on top. We don't need those. And let's go ahead and play out Signet. Go down to 12.
You got it.
And he's at 3. Go ahead.
We'll plow that into turn. You go to 13.
Yep. We have all the mana in the world.
Exile my graveyard.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Strix's exile. Draw a card. Okay, so now his hand is somewhat fixed, probably. Let's see, you had a couple lands. I know one of them was that filter land. Should have paid attention to what the other ones were, but it probably doesn't matter. I'll activate Rin's Prodigy.
Yep.
Draw a card. I don't. I don't think that's a card I need. Got enough mana right now. Black, blue, one.
I've played this game so bad. Yeah.
Do
Oh
I,
well.
Do I actually?
That's alright, I'll play
this?
the next one better. keep
Use this for black.
keep my head up. So
black, black, actually, I think I'm going to discard the Esper Charm, flip Jace. I'm going to neg 3 Jace, targeting Gitaxian Probe, and cast it for 2 life.
Yep.
So we got a Force of Will and a Talisman of Dominance. Alright, so he's either hiding something, which is probably correct, or there's nothing in the top 2 cards. Well, one of them's the missing land here. Not sure what the other card is. If it wasn't, he had 4 lands. He played 1, 2, 2 more on top. One of the cards drawn was a land. All right, so there's probably 2 more lands on top. So I draw a card off the probe. Oh, I keep making all the wrong decisions. Since I'm gonna draw into the lands I want anyway. Well, play Flooded Strand. Flashback, Lingering Souls. Get 2 spirits. Then I'll attack Jace. I'll fetch an Underground Sea. Play another Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
And send it back your way. I should be at 12.
Yeah. Alright. So we know what's on top. So we're going to go ahead and play out a Polluted Delta and crack it. Go to 12. Let's go ahead and play a let's see. I know what we want to see, but see if we can find it. Good. 0?
Yeah.
Yep. Got there.
So basically every decision I made was wrong. Like I should have discarded the land. The Gitaxian Probe into the therapy was wrong because you had no cards in hand. Yeah, everything has just worked out the exact opposite of how it normally would.
So,
and it had to be a black mana source.
We're dropping frames like a motherfucker. Jeez. We're dropping frames like crazy.
Doesn't matter. The recording is still going okay.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So we're gonna play out a Ensnaring Bridge.
Take it, dude.
Oh, and yeah, take my 2, go to 10.
Alright.
Awesome. And play out Talisman.
Sure. I knew you had that.
Chalice for 1.
Sure.
And go ahead and let's see, pass the turn after that.
Alright. We'll draw. Okay.
We're probably gonna get bled out by Deathrite Shaman.
Put Chase up to 3. It's faster to go that route. I can't play 1s anymore, so can't brainstorm anything back anyway. So we'll play a Tundra. Attack Jace for 2.
Yep. We're hoping Jace to get us back in there, but I had 1 card left in my hand, so I probably should have put this on top. Well, no, I would have still had the land.
Go ahead.
Sure. So we're just going to get beat up with that if we don't watch it.
Now my best hope is that you have 2 lands in your hand.
Yes.
In turn, we'll Deathrite targeting that.
Yeah. Good.
And then I'll do one on my own. Oh, this Gitaxian Probe should have been exiled. I'll do it on my Force of Will.
So you did 2 damage to me, right?
4 total.
4. Okay. 6.
Untap. Draw for turn. Attack for 2.
Yep.
And then Death Ray 2
Yep,
times. Okay. Your last card must be a land. Otherwise, oh, Force of Will. Okay.
I mean, but the other ones were 2 lands, so I couldn't play them out either.
Right.
So. Alright, I'm mulligan down to 6. Opening hand was absolutely atrocious. This one's keepable. Again, not very exciting, but it's still fun. We're not under a lot of pressure against his deck, at least at first. We're just hoping our hand doesn't really get ripped apart. So we're going to go ahead and scry here. I think we go ahead and put this at the bottom. I feel like we've got enough mana, and we don't really have anything we're trying to rush towards. So.
Alright. My hand's keepable as is. So.
Alright, so, and I'm on the play, so right. I'm going to go ahead and lead with just a Dark Slick Shores, nothing exciting in past turn.
Alright, I'm going to lead out an Underground Sea into a Thoughtseize.
Yep.
18. So, given what we have now, he's got 2 artifacts, so we can't stop the Thirst for Knowledge by stripping that. Plus his likelihood of drawing one's so high, it's not worth it. Baleful Strix isn't a worry to us. He generally gets so much mana and the game goes late enough. I think the most valuable card here is Thirst for Knowledge, so we'll take that. Good.
Sure, alright. Well, the question here is whether or not we worry just to kind of get Thoughtseized again. And because of that, let's go ahead and rush this guy out here. I don't really think he's got an answer to it once it gets out on the field, so we're going to pass turn.
Okay. Draw a card. Pretty good one. Play a Tundra and a Jace.
Yep.
Pass turn.
That's good. Alright. So.
Yeah, the Thopter Sword combo is really good against me.
The bad news. Well, let's see how close he is to doing that again. Alright, we got a few different things we want to think about here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to play out our Dimir Signet.
Sure.
Go ahead and crack our Polluted Delta. It really didn't matter how we sequenced that either way, because we've got our blue-black mana. Search for a Underground Sea. Alright. And we're going to play out the Baleful Strix.
Sure.
Alright. And pass turn. Kind of hope we don't get Thoughtseized.
Draw a land. I definitely want to activate Jace first in case we draw a better land. It's not really... At this point, I honestly think we'd rather discard one of these than the creature spell, just because we're not capable of putting a lot of pressure on and we already have our play for the turn. So I'll discard Brainstorm, play an island, and then I'm going to Esper Charm. You discard 2.
And that's exactly what we didn't want to see. Yep, so we lose our Transmute artifact. I want to say this deck gets hit really hard by the discard.
Now that he's in top deck mode, we just have to hope he doesn't draw into one of the pieces.
So we're going to come across for 1.
17.
Dimir Signet, we're going to play out another Belfast Strix. Draw us a card.
Redraws are always good.
No reason not to play this out. And pass turn.
Okay, we'll draw a card for the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 6 mana. Question is, do we want Jace to flip? Yeah, I think the sooner we get it flipped, the better. So I'll play a Gitaxian Probe, fall to 15. It's not the card we want, but thankfully we have Jace. Get rid of it. The only card Thoughtseize can get now is Force of Will if he's stuck holding it. So that's not an issue. Because we now have a spare land, I'm gonna use the blue. I assume we want to do this. Yeah, because if we see lands, we'd rather get rid of them. So Brainstorm, 1, 2. Okay, well, Cabal Therapy doesn't do anything for us, and because we're definitely breaking this fetch land, I don't think we want the Brainstorm either. We'll put Jace up 1 here, and so we get a turn off if we play this. Problem is, he just has Thopter Foundry, which makes like unlimited guys. So really, this doesn't do us anything. So I want to fetch now. Go to 14. I have to try and find a mentor, I think. Which means I should get an extra white mana. In case your draw happens to be Wasteland.
Yeah. I almost had the transmute. I always want to live the dream. Yeah. I mean, this deck just discards the living shit out of you. It's like I'm always in top deck mode against it.
Play a Ponder?
Yep.
I don't think any of these cards do what we want. Well, depends. If we kill them fast enough, I still don't think any of these are the cards we want. Draw a card. We'll play a Deathrite Shaman.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and sack this. We got enough mana.
Right. So you gain 1 life, back to 20.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And, alright. We're playing off the top of our deck. That's good. Let's see here. Now the question sort of becomes... he doesn't have like any pressure down. Right. He has no way to kind of get in here against this either. So, let's see, 4. So, get 1 there. Tezzerator.
It's only 3 mana.
So 1, 2. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
And I think here we're gonna plus him.
Sure.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta be kidding me. 5. Oh well, that is. We'll take it. Yes. Revealing Sword of the Meek.
Yep, that's bad.
So we're gonna go ahead and so now even if it gets discarded, we don't care. We're gonna come across with the one that isn't plus
right
at you.
Level 12.
And pass turn.
Alright, we'll draw for turn. Land. I guess we'll do both of those. Yeah. So I'll save the black in case something changes. But Jace is going to +1 to 7. We'll target the Baleful Strix.
Yes.
Again. Lingering Souls.
Yes.
To make 2 spirits. Then we'll pass turn.
Sure.
I have effects in your draw step.
Okay, during draw.
You haven't drawn yet.
Oh, sorry. Draw.
Exile Polluted Delta.
Sure.
Play Vendilion Click, target you. Assuming the last card you drew wasn't a Force of Will.
And that is bad for us. Well, that would be the card he would draw, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's fine.
We'll take the Sword of the Meek.
Sure. Ugh. Those draws, huh? Well, all in all, still not, we're still not like in a terrible place. So you're at 12?
Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
If your last 2 cards are Artifact, Land, and the Bridge, I'm dead.
Yeah, what we do, we got a, we got close. We got a Snaring Bridge.
Sure.
And then we can go ahead and let's chalice for 1. Why not?
Well, that's 6 artifacts.
Yeah,
right?
and then we just
Yeah.
played out with the Tezzerator. Yeah. Or we could have for 0 either way if we didn't have the mana.
Yeah. I could survive another turn by gaining life. But alright, we're here for the sideboards. I'm going to be bringing out all of my removal because Lane's deck basically has Baleful Strixes, and I don't really care if I actually can kill them. And it also is a downside that these are all 1-mana spells, so like they don't get around Chalice and they don't do much. The Murderous Cut is equally as bad. This would be good in matchups where there's like Tarmogoyfs or something, but it's terrible here. And I'm cutting 1 Lingering Souls because it doesn't apply a fast enough clock. Like, it has synergy with my Liliana and with the Jace Friends Prodigies, but the creatures, the extra spirit tokens, don't actually matter that much in this matchup because they don't apply enough pressure. I need to get to my Mentor and try and kill him that way. I'm bringing in a Spell Pierce because it's just a little more permission to try and stop early Chalices. A pair of Disenchants because this deck is like 90% artifacts. Pithing Needle because it stops the combo and all of its Planeswalkers. And Surgical Extraction because it can fight the combo or any of the cards that I can make him discard. Like if I can make him discard a Tezzerator, I can take all of them with it and prevent him from drawing, to those kind of outs.
So, all right, so we're taking out a Baleful Strix just because for the most part against him, it winds up being a cantrip because he winds up shutting him down with Jace most of the time. And so usually it's just digging us to our cards. We don't really have good targets for misdirection. It's good against like cards that run like Abrupt Decay. So that way you can like misdirect the Abrupt Decay to one of their permanents instead. It's also like an extra counter spell, but that's not really what we're worried about most of the time. Staff of Den seems too slow. Neil Spellsbomb feels redundant with Leyline of the Void. And I just kind of feel like we're under the pressure that we need to be quicker. If we have the Leyline in our hand, we can also combo win off of the Helm of Obedience as well. So that gives us an out if we do wind up getting the Leyline in. Toxic Deluge, it comes in just in case he starts to kind of swarm out with creatures. And then the Engineered Explosives, we can do it for 0 and take out any of his tokens or a flipped Jace Vryn's Prodigy. We do run the risk of losing our own chalices to it, so we have to be kind of careful. So that's what's going out. And
The upside of this seems strong enough though.
Yeah,
that I'd still bring it in.
Exactly. So.
All right, we are back for game 3. My hand is good. It's obviously we're a little short, but I think we can fix our the deficiencies of this hand pretty easily, and the rest of it is pretty solid against lane. So we'll keep it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, this hand is pretty good. I mean, we're losing. We may be rebuilding at some point, but I kind of feel like this is where we want to be early in the game. So, and we're protected against several things he could do to us, so we're just going to go ahead and pass turn.
All right. I'll lead off with a Tundra Indoor Plunder.
Yes.
Well, that's not the cards we want. Draw off the Ponder. I'm gonna play the Gataxian Probe now.
Sure.
See the turn 1 Chalice?
Yep.
With Force backup? No, it's not turn 2 Chalice. Oh no, it's got City of Traders, okay. And Tezzerator. Yeah, that's a good hand. Draw. Alright, good.
Sure. Alright. Let's make it happen.
You got it. Draw. Man, all those looks. Thought we'd see a land. Good.
Alright. Let's draw.
How many cards do you have, man?
I have 7.
Okay. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Let's go ahead and tap our City of Traders. Play that.
Herborg, sure.
Yeah, sack our City of Traders, tap. Let's go ahead and get down an Ensnaring Bridge. Kind of give him several things to kind of have to deal with. And pass turn.
Well, I guess that's what we had to draw here. We know we know what's coming, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it, but this is the best we can do for now. Good.
Let's see. Yeah. And draw. Alright. Let's go play our Underground Sea.
Sure.
And pass turn.
Draw a card. Was good. Activate Jace.
Sure.
Draw a card. That's also good. I think we'll toss. This synergizes with some of the other stuff in our hand, but nah, I don't think it's what we need. I'll discard Brainstorm. Jace isn't flipped. I'm gonna play a Swamp and a Monastery Mentor.
I think we got to stop the Mentor. So we're gonna go ahead and pitch a Tezzerator 2 Force.
Got it. So you're at 19.
Yep.
Good.
We just keep drawing that side of our deck, don't we? Let's go ahead and play out another Underground.
Sure.
And pass turn.
Draw a card. I don't know what I'd even be looking for with Jace right now. So I'm not even sure if I want him to flip. Although the next time I activate him, he's flipping no matter what. The only downside is that opens him up to a Engineered Explosive. No, it doesn't. Engineered Explosives can only be tapped for, or can only be cast for at least 1 right now, so he can't cast at 0. Alright, that's fine. I'll activate Jason.
Sure.
Draw a card. That card's pretty bad, but I don't know if it's so bad that we have to, because it pairs up well here, although nothing else does. Yeah, I guess I'll discard Spell Pierce and flip Jace. I'm not getting through the Chalice no matter what I do. Take Jace up.
Yep.
And play another mentor?
Sure.
Guess I'll play out the land. Good.
Sure. All right, something that doesn't cost 4 or more mana. Oh my god. That is not good for us. Pass.
All right, we get to turn back unmolested. We'll draw. How many cards do you have?
4.
4, so Mentor can't go bigger than that yet. So this card's pretty dead. So we don't know what he has, but we know we can really screw with what he's got. Attack for 4. Now, I think I'll just attack for 2.
Yes. Go down to 17.
And we'll put Jace up to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll pass the turn. Yeah.
All right, we've got to start drawing better here.
I have effects on your draw step.
Okay, so I'm going to draw.
I'm going to play Vendilion Click.
In response to the Vendilion Click, we're going to force pitching another Tezzerator because we keep drawing all the expensive cards.
Cards in hand?
3.
It's 3 cards in hand. Don't think, yeah, it's fine.
Sure.
It gives Lane an out to shrink his hand size, but I think we can live with that.
So, yay, found our land.
Sure.
So, here we want to crack our polluted delta. We're going to go down to 15.
Yep.
So we got there.
Things happened.
Yeah, things happened. Alright, sure, because why not?
So he's protecting something. He discarded both Tezzerats, which either means he has another or he has like a better, like Jace, a better Planeswalker. Or he just is trying to completely empty his hand this turn, and the 4 mana spell was what was getting in the way of that. So we'll see.
Alright, so...
This looks like a better Planeswalker.
It's difficult here, I feel like, because right now actually we don't want to draw a card. So let's go ahead and play out a Jace.
Well, I'm going to force it anyway.
Alright.
So I got a monk token.
Yes. And... pass turn.
Alright, so you have 1 card in hand?
I have 1 card.
Alright. Draw for the turn. That doesn't do as much. But black mana, green mana, doesn't matter. I'm gonna start by disenchanting the
Yep.
bridge, get a monk.
Yep.
Now the question is, do we want to flash anything back with Jace, or do we just keep going up? I feel like we can get a maximum amount of value right here by... We'll tick down on Jace, put him down. He was at 7, so we'll go to 4. We'll flash back the disenchant on the...
Yep.
Get another monk token. Attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. 8.
Now fetch an underground.
Yep.
And play Deathrat Shaman.
Yep.
You're up.
Alright.
So unless the last card in his hand is like another ensnaring bridge, we should be alright.
Yeah, which it is not. Let's see. Here.
Damnation, that'd also be pretty good. I don't think I would know to play around that.
There is... I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any... Well, I mean, cards in hand. So we're going to take...
I can flash back a spell so it's lethal because of being able to cast,
Yeah.
like recast Gitaxian Probe or something. Or
Yeah.
Ponder.
So I think we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Well... Yeah, we're dead.
I mean, if you think there's an out,
I mean,
try it anyway.
there's not. I mean, like, I was thinking play this after gain a life, block with one, but I'm like, yeah, that's...
Nah, there's more than lethal around it.
Yeah. Alright, I lost him on the play. Had to mulligan down to 6. The opening hand was iffy, but I eventually had to toss it back. So we're going to keep this and see if we can do a little bit better. We're going to scry here. And...
Your arm's in the way.
Oh, sorry. I don't think this is what... Well... Shit. If this was in our opening hand, it would be great, but I feel like it's just not where we want to be. Because we're not going to be able to manage that real explosive hand. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom and...
Alright, my hand's a little speculative given what we have here, but I feel like this is close enough and has enough of the right pieces that we'll run it and cross our fingers. Have at it.
Oh, sorry. We're going to go ahead and lead on a Darkwater Catacombs. And we're going to pass.
Draw. Sure. I'll play Tropical Island into Deathrite Shaman.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Alright. Let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and play our Dark Slick Shores. And we're going to play out a Dimir Signet and pass.
We'll draw a card. Okay. I guess I will play a Deathrite Shaman and attack for 1.
Sure, we're going to 19.
Go ahead.
So we obviously see what the problem is, which makes us now not want to play that. I feel like right here, let's go ahead and play out this City of Traders.
Yep.
And the thing is like I feel like he's just gonna wind up getting beat back down for 1. But this does us no good at this time, so we're gonna see if we can get it through. So we got 3, and we'll go ahead and try to see if we can play out a Tezzerator.
Cards in hand.
3.
I'll Force of Will, pitching a Force of Will.
Always got it, don't they? Alright.
Only knew.
Go ahead.
I'll draw fetch land. Negative. I will attack for 2.
Yep, we're gonna go to 17.
And send it back your way.
Sure.
Yeah. This hand didn't exactly pan out the way we thought it would, or hoped it would.
Let's try this again. Wait, let's see. So, yeah, we gotta do it that way. Jace.
Oh, that makes 2 blue, I see. Jeez. Cards 3.
I have 3 cards.
Force of Will, pitching Jace.
Wowee. Sure. Pass.
Please fetch land right now. Okay. Attack for 2. Pass the turn.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
It's 2 blue mana. I'm mistaken.
Huh?
Yeah, there's 2.
Yeah, there's 2. I can't do it on this.
Oh, no, okay, I'm crazy.
So
You're right.
off the
Sorry.
signet. So we got there. So we're going to go ahead and look at the top card of his library. And we're going to leave that on top.
Sure.
So, and then we're going to put him up to 5 and then that's turn.
Tag Jace for 2.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Sure. So let us almost think that we've got to eventually start to win this game. So the first thing we're going to try to do, let's see if we can get some of this garbage out of our hands. So let's start off with a brainstorm.
Sure.
So 3. Oh yeah. That's what we want to see. So we know we're not using this, so let's go ahead and, even though I know we're just, let's hide one of these guys. Alright, so we got 5 mana open. So, engineer explosives for 1.
Sure.
And we'll go ahead and crack that. And is there any, let's go ahead and get out a talisman and pass turn.
Yep, that's your game.
Alright.
Alright, we are back for game 5. I'm on the play, and I have a hand that's a little shaky, but I think it's good enough to keep, especially if we can find another land in time. So
Yeah, we're not doing anything explosive with this hand, but it's completely respectable. So, yeah, so we're going to keep this, we're going to go ahead and scry. Oh, sorry. I don't think that's where we want to be right now. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom. There's really no reason. Alright, and pass.
alright. Tundra, pass turn.
Yep. That's hopefully will kind of wind up mattering. Let's go ahead and lead off here with a Dark Slick and pass.
Draw. It's pretty good. Play a Ponder.
Sure.
I really want both of those cards, and I think I can afford to wait for them. Yeah. It stinks because I want to be able to resolve these soon, but nah, I think I can wait. So I'm gonna leave them like, yeah, leave them like this, draw this card, and then play out the Polluted Delta. I guess I could draw something better though too. It's just so nice to have this with a fetch land. Nah, I'm gonna pass. Go ahead.
Alright. Let's go ahead and draw our card. That's solid. We're going to go ahead though, of course, and try to play out our underground, see if we can get a chalice to stick.
That makes this a lot worse. Let's see. We know what the two cards were. Cards in hand?
We have 5 cards.
Fetch and response?
Yes.
I'm at 19.
Either doesn't want those cards now, or See if we get spell pierced.
I'm gonna cast a brainstorm.
Sure. Probably digging for the force. Alright.
2. Yeah, that's not exactly how we drew it up. Now we can 100% put this back, especially if it doesn't work out. So, force pitching a force.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Alright.
Draw a card. And thought seize you.
Yes.
Alright, so a couple cards that don't really matter. Yeah, we're gonna take the Tezzerator.
Yep.
Got Deluge, Bird, and Talisman.
Yep.
So I can't use that as on turn. I want the next card. So I'll play Blood Strain and Pest.
Sure.
Could play this, but it would just make him Deluge, so there's no reason to do it. Can try and make him Deluge the turn after.
Let's go ahead and start with the Baleful and see what we draw. That certainly doesn't change anything. So let's we're gonna play out City of Traders. Let's go ahead and put out our Talisman, and we're gonna pass turn.
All right, we'll draw and play Thoughtseize.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna take Toxic Deluge.
Yep.
Because that's the card we're most worried about. I will play the Underground Sea and Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Yep.
Pass turn. So now it's his bridge, which stops any attacks we have, but we got plenty of time to try and find some.
Yeah.
And because we don't need this, we can use Jace.
Come across at you.
Yep, 13.
Yep.
As long as his top card wasn't like a Planeswalker.
Let's see. Go ahead and play out our Dimir Signet. And I really can't. Yeah. Let's see. Or, well, trying to do this less sloppy. Alright. And
Double blue?
yeah, I don't need it either. I mean, I just wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and play our Ensnaring Bridge. And I think we're just going to go ahead and, sure, why not, play our Polluted Delta. And we'll go ahead and get rid of the city.
Okay.
Because we got plenty of mana. And go ahead. This way we can control a little bit. We can draw. We can attack with the Baleful. And then just play out our card.
I suppose it's better to know what's coming. Probe.
Yep.
Seems like an alright card. Gonna activate Jace.
Yep.
Draw a card. Guess I'd rather have the option of a free shuffle later. Or maybe now. We have a Brainstorm in the yard. Yeah, let's take Jace down.
Yep.
We'll cast Brainstorm.
Yep.
Honestly. Yay. Actually terrible. Put back these 2 lands. Then I'll fetch to 12. Guess we'll grab one of those lands. I don't actually know if I want to do anything else this turn. Guess it's possible. No, I don't. Go ahead. There's nothing I can draw into that I really want to play right now.
Alright, good cards. Come on, good cards. Well, I mean, that's... Trying to think. Gotta keep him from flashing back. But he's just gonna tick up. Your life total doesn't matter, so we're gonna go ahead and cross it, Chase, for one.
Yep.
It's just what do we, for what amount? So let's, yes. So should have 1, 2, 3.
It's 4.
4.
Now.
Yeah. So we're going to Chalice for 2.
Sure.
And pass turn.
Well, this part's easy.
Yep. And we Chalice for 2 because of Disenchant.
Taxing probe?
Yes.
Sure was.
And we can get back in this game real easy. I mean, we've got things locked down, especially if we pull something like a Tezzerator.
Go ahead.
Sure.
On your draw step.
Yep.
I'm gonna surgical extraction targeting Tezzerator.
Yes.
Figures. It was the other one.
Could be the other Tezzerator.
Yeah, that's what I was really hoping it would be. Is there 4 or 3? Oh,
There's 4.
There's a different Tezzerator.
Yeah, there's Tezzerator Seekers in there too. Turning dudes into 5/5s is good too.
Okay.
Alright. So, alright. So let's go ahead and get our Jace down. If we can get our Jace down.
Yeah, it resolves.
Alright, so I think here we just want to go ahead and, well, can we cast anything this turn is the thing. I guess we might as well, I mean, because we know he can flash back. I think fixing our draws the next turn, we know he can, oh wow. That actually could be good for us. Let's do this. So put one card in hand and put these guys on the top of the library. And play out our land.
Sure.
He's at 3. And pass turn.
Draw for turn. So play a Flooded Strand, take this up.
Yep.
Chase the Mind Sculptor.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sure.
So this isn't the ideal situation. We haven't seen a creature the entire game.
Chase is a creature?
Well, sorry. We haven't seen a creature that actually attacks for damage. Or does anything for that matter. Although at this point, getting through the Ensnaring Bridge is going to be bad enough.
So let's go ahead and play out a Leyline.
Sure.
So. And. Yeah, and pass turn.
To chase up to 4 on this. And send it back.
Sure. Alright. Let's go ahead and try to play out our Sword of the Meek.
Resolves.
Oh, well, then
oh, no, it
counts.
doesn't resolve.
Goes the pass.
I guess I have no effects is what I meant. Draw. Sure. Chase up to 5. 5.
Yep.
Theoretically get rid of 2 at this point, so maybe... Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Come on, deck. It seems fine, though. I hate that we don't have... Yeah, and pass.
End of turn, I'm going to cast Vendilion Click.
Going to Force of Will that.
Sure.
Probably doesn't even really matter that much. Let's go ahead and crack this Polluted Delta. Sure. Maybe it'll matter.
19. Draw.
Yep.
Brainstorm.
Yep.
Wow. So I got plenty of lands to fetch still. So just put 2 lands back. Fetch.
Yep.
I go to
Gonna helm off the top. That's what we need. Not like it'll get through all the cards he's drawn.
You saw how many lands I've drawn.
Yeah.
Technically, these cards have all been exiled because of the leyline.
Hated losing the Jace. It's like, that's okay. That's why I kept that.
Play a Ponder.
Yep. So I was like, that's okay, then we'll just dig for the helm and be alright. Or the, you know.
I guess. I mean, I'd rather have it this way.
We need the Thopter. Yeah. Boom. Just sacrifice the bridge. Go on, Thopter. Not like you're getting through all these counters.
Yeah, this seems bad, but I don't... Yeah, whatever. I'll take it that way.
Sure.
I'll draw a card, take up Jace, go ahead.
Sure.
Oh, play a land for turn, sorry.
Sure.
So we have 1 turn to dodge whatever the heck he draws.
Oh.
2 mana.
Oh, yeah. Crap. That does absolutely suck. I forgot about that. That's the bad thing about Chalice. Maybe I shouldn't have put it at 2. Dang.
Stops all my Jaces. Now you're all in on Helm, I think.
Yep. Good. Or, I mean, Tezzerator, he got...
Oh, there's a 1 of Tezzeret, that's right.
There's 2.
Oh, Tezzeret the Seeker? Okay,
Yeah.
I only saw the 1, but... Put Jace up to 7.
Shoot.
Fast turn?
Yeah, we're gonna lose the Jace. Well... God, this is so bad for us. Pass. Had we only known.
Draw a card.
I was worried about disenchant.
Put
and
Jace up to 8. Good. Target this again, as always.
Sure. Go.
Draw for turn.
I don't know. I may have lost a long time ago though if
How
we'd
many
been able to
brainstorms
disenchant.
do I have? 1, 2. Okay.
Like you'd probably have been disenchanting me into oblivion otherwise.
9 here.
Sure.
Pass turn.
Sure. Come on, deck. Sure. Go.
Draw a card. Well. Deathrite Shaman.
Sure.
And a Swamp.
Sure.
Put Jace up to 10.
Sure.
Go ahead.
All the lands. Go.
Okay. Draw. Okay, that was actually a really good draw on this exact turn. So we're gonna put Jace down to 1 to get the emblem, which
Yep.
I don't have an emblem, but we'll just represent it.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna cast Lingering Souls.
Yep.
Trigger.
Yep.
Target you.
Yep.
And this is exiled.
5. Yep.
Did we hit 2 of the guys yet? The Tezzerats.
made a mistake on that chalice. I guess that's what cost me this game.
Guess I could have left that up.
But I don't know if we just would have gotten like disenchanted to death.
Can I get Taxium Probe you, Trigger?
Sure.
There you go.
Pardon?
Prison.
Oh, Exiles, yeah.
Yeah. We lost one of our Jaces, so there goes another win condition.
Target you.
Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there goes our helm. We're not dead though, like, yet, I don't think.
Pass turn?
I think we are. Let me. Yeah, nice. I don't think I have a way to win. I think
I have 2 Force of Wills.
It would end up. I mean, it would have to have been the helm.
All right, we are back for the post-game analysis. What did you think, Lane?
Oh, it was so sad, but it played out a lot like I thought it was going to. I made some mistakes, especially in the first game. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd been on tilt or something like that. I even missed a land drop. But Jace Ren's Prodigy again, like I expected, he just like took apart my hand. There were a lot of times where I feel like I could have gotten the game and had my combo together even and just started going off, but yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I was impressed by Jace in this matchup. He did a lot of work. Actually, in every game, other than the 4th game where I couldn't find mana, and actually I had a Jace in hand that game. I ended up tossing it to a Force of Will because if I had ever gotten him down, I think that would have given me enough gas to really just secure that game too.
Yeah.
The combination of looting, setting up my graveyard, and as we saw in the 5th game, even being a super slow win condition just makes him so well-rounded and suited to any game that's going to go beyond turn 3.
Yes, and I was a bit, and I made a terrible mistake on the last game by putting, my thought was, I wasn't seeing very far, was the Chalice on 2.
Sure.
I was like, the Chalice on 2, I'm like, I'm going to keep him off Disenchant. All the while realizing it was putting me off my own Thopter Foundry.
Well, it also stopped me from playing another Jace. Like, if you had dealt with the Jace I had, I wasn't going to resolve another one. So
that's a very good point. I mean, ultimately, I don't know if it was... I was going to try to just win off the helm at that point.
Sure.
Or I could have just used Tezzerator to search for a Thopter Foundry in my deck. But at the point where you were just milling me on Jace, it was just going to be too long for that stuff to come together. I think Engineered Explosives I could have got out at that point, too, and just tried to... But I was done in at that point. So
yeah, that was a rough way to go down. But that just showcased like how Chalice can be both a blessing and a curse. I think in some matchups, like the combo matchups, Chalice is really good. And actually, I had a lot of 1-mana spells that it would have been good if the timing was right.
Yeah.
But later on in the game, Chalice was a much weaker card against me once we got into like turns 3 and 4 and beyond. So it's sort of a tough call whether those should even stay in the deck. I would argue they probably should, but it's tough because, like we said, that if you draw them late, it's kind of like me with Thoughtseizes. They're usually dead later in the game, but I can't really cut them because they're so powerful early on.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards like that. It's like a counter spell. It feels bad. Feels bad off the top, but early, whenever it really matters, it's
there's
rough.
nothing else like it.
Yeah, and there was a lot of games where I was just playing off the top of my deck, and hated losing my Tezzerats too. That's backbreaking. It's crazy when Tezzerat's better in the deck than Jace.
And in your deck, he really is.
Yes.
Well, I had a lot of fun. Hope you did, Lane.
I did. I'm always learning. All of these are always it's a learning experience for me. So I feel like every time I play it, I get a little bit better at the deck. So.
Well, I hope you all learned something too. Thanks for joining us. This is this has been a pleasure. For Lane Fox, I am Zachary Cook, and you watched MTG Training Grounds.